Hello, kids. Today I am going to tell you a story about the Jack and the beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a poor boy named Jack and his mother. They had a little cottage and a cow that gave milk, but one day, the cow stopped giving any milk. Jack's mother was worried. "We can't keep the cow if she doesn't give us milk," she said. "Jack, you must take her to the market and sell her so we can buy food." Jack was sad, but agreed. He led the cow through the village, thinking about how much his mother would need the money. As Jack walked along the road, he met an old man who said, "Boy, I will trade you these magic beans for your cow." Jack was curious but unsure. "Magic beans?" he asked. "What do you mean?" The old man smiled. "Plant them in the ground, and you'll see something wonderful happen." Jack was eager for something magical to happen, so he decided to make the trade. He handed over the cow and took the beans. When Jack returned home, his mother was furious. "What have you done?" she cried. "You traded our cow for a handful of beans. We could have sold her for food." In her anger, she threw the beans out of the window and sent Jack to bed without supper. That night, something strange happened. The next morning, when Jack looked out the window, he saw a giant beanstalk reaching high up into the sky, disappearing into the clouds. It was the tallest beanstalk he had ever seen, and it seemed to glow with magic. Curious and excited, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. He grabbed hold of the thick stem and began to climb, higher and higher, until he reached the top. To his amazement, he found himself in a land high above the clouds, where giant castles and enormous trees stood tall. As Jack wandered through this strange land, he came across a giant house. He knocked on the door, and a giant woman answered. "What are you doing here, little boy?" she asked. Jack explained that he had climbed the beanstalk and had no idea where he was. The giant woman sighed. "You're in the land of giants. My husband is very dangerous, so you must be careful. But I'll hide you. He's coming soon." Jack hid in the corner, just in time, as the giant stomped into the house. The giant roared, "Fee-fi-fo-fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." "Don't be silly, dear," the giant woman said quickly. "You must be imagining things. There's no one here." The giant grumbled and sat down, but Jack was frightened. He waited until the giant fell asleep, snoring loudly. Quietly, Jack slipped from his hiding place and saw something amazing. A golden harp and a bag of gold coins. Jack thought of his mother and knew he had to bring back something to help them. He grabbed the harp and the bag of coins, but as he was about to leave, the harp called out, "Help! Don't take me!" The giant woke with a start and shouted, "Thief! Thief!" Jack ran for his life, clutching the harp and the gold. The giant chased after him, his heavy footsteps shaking the ground. Jack reached the beanstalk and began to climb down as fast as he could, the giant following close behind. When Jack finally reached the bottom, he shouted to his mother, "Quick, bring the axe." Jack's mother grabbed an axe, and together they chopped down the beanstalk, just as the giant was about to reach the ground. With a great crash, the beanstalk fell, and the giant tumbled down, never to be seen again. Jack and his mother were no longer poor. They lived happily ever after, with enough gold to buy food, a new home, and the magic harp that played beautiful music every day. And so, Jack learned that sometimes, even the strangest choices can lead to wonderful adventures, and kindness and bravery are always worth more than gold. So kids, that's all for today. If you like our story, please press the bell icon. See you next time with another story.